Okay, what's up, you guys? Episode 2. I'm gonna talk about the measurements I do and where you should be doing them and how I take my photos. Um, yeah, so this is measurements. I'm on day 9 of this palace journey right now. I'm down, I think, 4 pounds already. I'll kind of talk about that later on though. So here's the measurements. Let me talk about it. I guess I could do it with my shirt on. So these are all the points that I use. I'm going to use my neck, my chest, my bicep, my forearm, my stomach. I use my belly button. You could do an inch above your belly button and an inch below. I do my hips, my quad, and my calf. So for your neck, this is the one I'm going to use right here. It's called balance form, and this one's cool because you could just wrap it around. Anyway, so neck. Kind of want to go somewhere in the middle, biggest part. Chest, I guess biggest part as well. Nipple line works for males, biggest part. Same thing with the waist, belly button, inch below, inch above your navel, your belly button. Bicep, you're gonna do it at the biggest part or somewhere in between. So mine's right here. Forearm, biggest part right here. Hips, you're doing your hip socket itself. So hip socket, if you can feel it move right here. Biggest part of your glute basically all around. For your quad itself, you could do somewhere in between, middle of the line, or so in between. I just go like this and then I'll measure it there. Calf, you do the biggest part. But the main thing that you ultimately want to do is you want to make sure you keep everything consistent as possible, because you're keeping form of measurement, so you're just tracking strictly just so you can see progress. So just keep it consistent. Landmarks matter to an extent, but those are the basic ones that you should be measuring. And for photos, I'll demonstrate them right now. I might not take off my shirt. I'm kind of reconsidering that one. So photos, it will be relaxed, relaxed from the side. Make sure you move your arm so you can see your waist. And if you want, you could take flexing, and same thing in the back, flexing. So this is where I track everything. I have a little bit more measuring points for myself and for my clients, more so for my clients. But I put in the weekly weight right there, and then I track all the measurements there: neck, chest, waist, hips, bicep, right bicep, left bicep, forearm, thigh, calf, and then it gives me a total right there. So yeah, that's how I keep track of it. And then for the scale weight itself, for weekly scale weight, I track everything right there. I personally get the weekly averages, so out of a 7-day period, it gives me a weekly average. Because for me, I'm going to be tracking the weekly averages, and I'm going to be comparing that versus everything else. Because as you can see, there's a lot of fluctuations that occurred there. I went from 210 back to 209, back to 208, and then down to 206.2. I'll go into that later on, what I'm doing with that approach. But yeah, this is it. And I might be showing you guys my workout as well. I haven't fully decided yet. So yeah, basically you just get all those measurements, write them down, and check them. For circumference measurement, so with the measuring tape itself, every 2 to 4 weeks would be good. With 4 weeks, you'll for sure see changes. 2, you might not see any. So 4 is more of the golden week, I guess, when it comes down to that. And what I recommend for clients, I have them do every 2 weeks just for my own purpose, just so I could have different forms of the data. That way I could take everything into consideration before I switch up the protocol. And For photos, same thing. 4 to 8 weeks is more ideal. You'll be seeing a lot more changes within 8 weeks versus 4. So yeah, this journey is gonna be long for me. But let's talk about the photos. Like I mentioned last time, with photos, you want to make sure the light's consistent. As you can tell, this light's freaking horrible. You can see my face I cut off. Basically exposing everything on my face, wrinkles and everything, which is fine. But long story short, make sure you are focusing on the same consistent light every single time you're taking progress photos. That way that way when you look at photo 1 and photo 2, they're consistent. Week 2. And now just a little bit of bodybuilding. So get my legs in it.